The film opens with a man named Mitch Rapp, who has just proposed to his girlfriend, Katrina. On a beautiful beach, Katrina happily accepts his proposal, but their happiness doesn't last long. While Rapp steps away to buy drinks and food, a group of terrorists suddenly launches a violent attack on the beach. Katrina is killed in the chaos. 18 months later, Rapp's life has completely changed. He spends his days training in hand-to-hand combat, weapons handling, and firearms. Quietly, he also learns Arabic and studies Islamic history, all with one goal in mind: infiltrating a terrorist network. Rapp is driven by a single purpose: avenging Katrina's death. By posing as a sympathizer, he hopes to destroy the terrorist group from within. However, unknown to him, his communications have already been intercepted by the CIA. And one day, Rapp is summoned to a remote area near Libya to meet the group. He comes face to face with Adnan al-Mansur, the terrorist leader responsible for Katrina's death. Rapp is interrogated and taken into a secured room. Al-Mansur grows suspicious, realizing that Rapp is not a Muslim. As the questioning continues, Rapp quietly attempts to loosen the restraints binding his hands. But suddenly, CIA operatives storm the location and shoot Al-Mansur dead right in front of Rapp. Rapp is then taken in for further interrogation. That's when Irene Kennedy, a senior CIA official, recognizes Rapp's potential. She offers him a deal: work with the CIA and help eliminate terrorist threats around the world. Rapp questions whether he can trust her, but Kennedy believes in him. After putting Rapp through a series of intense tests, his results prove to be well above average. A few hours later, Irene Kennedy escorts him to a secret location. Stan Hurley, Kennedy's longtime friend and the CIA's top special operations trainer, watches Rapp with curiosity, eager to see what he's truly capable of. Kennedy introduces Rapp to Stan, assigning him the task of turning Rapp into a far more lethal covert operative. After Kennedy leaves, Stan immediately puts Rapp through a series of short but intense tests. Lessons meant to remind him that this training is no game. There, Stan begins teaching him advanced combat techniques, killing efficiency, and how to neutralize enemies without hesitation. Meanwhile, Kennedy meets with her superiors. They discuss the disappearance of 15 kilograms of plutonium-239 following a bombing in Russia, enough material to construct a large-scale nuclear weapon. That night, Rapp and the other agents are abruptly awakened for a high-risk training exercise. Stan deliberately shows him a photo of Al-Mansur, provoking an emotional reaction. As expected, Rapp's rage resurfaces. The following day, Rapp and an agent named Victor take part in another exercise, a simulated assassination in a crowded environment. When Rapp sees Victor nearly killed, he reacts instinctively without thinking. This reckless move infuriates Stan. He warns Rapp to control his emotions. By coincidence, a news report reveals the failure of a secret transaction. The deal was carried out by a highly skilled man, later identified as Ghost. At the same time, due to the theft of the plutonium by a man known as Ghost, Kennedy approaches Stan. It's revealed that Ghost is Stan's most dangerous old agent. Kennedy is now targeting an arms smuggler operating outside Turkey, named Hamdi Sarif. Stan quickly brings Victor and Rapp to Istanbul to meet the CIA field agent assigned to the area, Annika Oyen. The next day, all three are in position. Once the area clears, Victor and Rapp reposition. But it's already too late. Sarif has handed the detonator to Ghost, who has been waiting nearby. When Victor moves in, Ghost instantly recognizes them. He attacks Victor without hesitation and manages to escape. Victor is killed during the mission. With the target gone, Stan orders Rapp and Annika to withdraw, but Rapp disobeys. He assaults one of Sarif's fruit vendors and forces him to follow Sarif's vehicle. After reaching the destination, Rapp ties the man up and quietly enters Sarif's room. Getting into Sarif's apartment is no easy task. Rapp has to deal with a vicious guard dog. trained to attack, and armed guards who are ready to open fire at any moment. Two hours later, at a CIA safe house in Romania, Rapp hands over a stolen laptop. Stan angrily confronts Rapp for his reckless behavior. From the laptop's data, Kennedy realizes the truth, that Ghost now possesses an extremely dangerous nuclear detonator. Even worse, they uncover a $2 million transfer to a bank account in Romania. Stan, Rapp, and Annika immediately move to track the transaction. Meanwhile, Ghost is seen meeting with an Iranian defense minister named Behrouz to discuss their planned bombing operation. Behrouz hands over a sum of money to Ghost as payment for the mission. Ghost explains that the nuclear detonator he designed has a radiation blast radius of up to 10 kilometers. Then Behrouz asks about the physicist who will be responsible for detonating the nuclear bomb. It is later revealed that the physicist is Boris Bartos. At the same time, Stan's team successfully identifies Boris shortly after he receives a $2 million wire transfer. To protect potential victims and maintain close surveillance, Annika and Rapp decide to rent a room next to Boris's. While Annika and Rapp monitor Boris from inside the building, Stan keeps watch from outside. The detonator deal was almost done when Rapp's cover was exposed. A sudden gunfight erupted. Stan arrived to back him up, but in the chaos, Ghost managed to escape once again. Under further interrogation, Boris revealed that his only assignment was to meet Ghost. Nothing more. Hearing this, Rapp began to sense that something was off. He concluded that this mission was no longer just political. 2 hours later, back in the hotel room, Annika helped Rapp clean and bandage his wounds. Before leaving to shower, she told him that tomorrow they would go look for Ghost. That single sentence immediately raised Rapp's suspicion. He realized that he never told Annika they were going after Ghost. Trusting his instincts, Rapp confronted her and handed her over to the CIA. It was soon confirmed that Annika was an Iranian spy. Stan finally confronted Azad and revealed that he had discovered Annika's true identity. Behind it all were General Rostami and Defense Minister Behrouz. Annika had been tracking Stan through his phone. Before the conversation could continue, Ghost suddenly sniped Azad from a distance, then captured Stan. Meanwhile, at the headquarters, Kennedy seemed angry because Rapp kept asking who the real Ghost was. To get more information, Annika was taken to the CIA headquarters. Shortly thereafter, Rapp got the news that Stan had been kidnapped by the Ghost. On that occasion, Rapp angered to Kennedy and Rapp asked Annika to cooperate. At the same time, Stan was interrogated by the Ghost, who asked where his children were. The Ghost did it because he was heartbroken because he was left by Stan a few years ago and was attacked by his own people. Ghost planned to eliminate those who betrayed him and disappear into the open sea. Once the nuclear bomb was ready, Ghost, cold and calculating, assassinated Behrouz and his inner circle. It was later revealed that Annika's true mission was to prevent a nuclear war orchestrated by Behrouz and General Rostami, the same people responsible for her parents' deaths. Not long after, Kennedy discovered that Rapp had escaped and immediately deployed CIA agents to rescue Annika and track Rapp down after a long journey. Rapp and Annika finally reached Ghost's location and quietly followed him. Unable to pass through a barred gate, Rapp handed his weapon to Annika and told her to move ahead alone. Moments later, Annika came face to face with Behrouz, the man who murdered her parents, and executed him without hesitation. Rapp forced his way in, risking everything to rescue Stan. But the situation quickly turned when Ghost escaped with the bomb. Rapp tried to chase him down, but Ghost took Annika hostage. In that critical moment, Rapp failed to save her, and Ghost managed to get away once again. Rapp immediately pursued him. Once it was confirmed that the bomb had been activated aboard Ghost's ship, Stan and Kennedy ordered the US Marines to destroy the vessel. Ghost's target was 6 American naval fleets stationed at sea with less than 3 minutes before. But the situation turned around. In the final confrontation, Ghost was defeated. Rapp took full control of the ship, and the nuclear threat was now in his hands. Detonation, Rapp steered the ship out into open waters. Seeing this, Kennedy ordered the Marines to hold their fire. From a helicopter, Stan contacted Rapp and instructed him to drop the bomb to the ocean floor and evacuate immediately. In the end, the nuclear bomb detonated violently in the middle of the ocean. The massive explosion shook the sea, but no one was harmed.
We have multiple hull breaches. Low levels.
Sometime later, after finishing treatment at the hospital, Stan was approached by Kennedy asking about Rapp's whereabouts. It turned out Rapp chose to finish the mission, going after General Rostami, who now claimed to be the president of Iran.